Hello and welcome to the LA Auto Show's AutoMobility LA Podcast. My name is Tim Stevens. I'm editor-in-chief at CNET's Roadshow, and as ever, I'll be your host. In addition to a wealth of speakers, panels, and presentations of the like you've been listening to in previous episodes, AutoMobility LA will host 2 competitions helping to foster new innovation in the industry. The first is the Code AutoMobility LA Hackathon, sponsored by Visa and GM. To learn all about this, I spoke with BC Boyle, one of the judges and Senior Director of IoT and Global Connected Car at Visa. Before joining Visa, BC spent more than a decade at Chrysler and nearly as long at Ford before that. So sit back and enjoy a quick and fascinating chat with BC about the future of a new sort of mobile payments before learning all about this year's hackathon. BC, thanks for joining us. I want to talk a little bit about in-car payments because we're seeing more and more services in the car, but yet we really haven't seen any in-car payments just yet. What's the future hold there?
You know, at Visa, we really see the car has a great potential to be a significant connected device in consumers' lives. And because of the additional connectivity that's in cars today, car manufacturers have the ability through mobility as a service to monetize their cars in new ways, in addition to the revenue that they get from their core vehicle sales. And one of the things Visa realized with so many people, about 135 million daily commuters who spend more than $210 billion a year on things like gas, parking, food, and grocery pickup as part of their drive to and from work, that there was a great opportunity between what we could bring to the consumer and what is available in cars today. And so our approach to digitizing payments in the connected car has been to partner with stakeholders in this digital payments ecosystem and then collaborate on pilots that validate the payment experience in a way that the consumer actually wants to adopt.
I'm guessing that authentication is a big part of the question here because that's one of the first things that comes to mind for me is authenticating who's actually making the payment. What sort of things are you working on to make sure that the person actually authorizing payments in the cars is actually authorized to make those payments?
So that's a great question. There are actually quite a few things when you're bringing together what's going to make this work for the consumer in the car that you have to take in consideration. And authentication clearly is one of them. Once people know my car can pay for things, they say, I want to know the right person's in my car. And so we work with our Visa ID intelligence to make sure that the driver is authenticated before we enable the payment technology. So that can be done through voice recognition, that could be done through iris scanning, that could be done through all sorts of biometrics. And so driver identification is key to this. The second piece that we find that's key to this is to understand the use case from the driver's perspective. And there's different use cases that exist. You have the person that's the single owner of their car, and I love my car because of horsepower or quality or styling. But then you have the people who also, or the persona that says, I use the car only once during the week, and multiple drivers may own the same car. And so the ride-hailing use case, or the autonomous robo-taxi use case one day, where I have to identify the driver and I'm not in my Uber anymore and I don't have a picture of that driver and that driver doesn't have a picture of me. So how do I authenticate that driver, maybe communicate with the person who's about to get into my autonomous robo-taxi? The digital identification, which you brought up, identifying the right credentials are in the car, the authentication, and then the authorization to do payments. That's one thing with Visa brings with our security DNA and our privacy DNA to understand how we authenticate and authorize payments, whether you have a physical credit card or you have a digital credit card in an in-car wallet. Then tokenization is a big part of that security as well, where we actually take that 16-digit personal account number and we transform it into a digital account number that is accompanied by what's called a cryptogram. So when I buy that one Big Mac or whatever the case may be, I can make a single purchase and it's only identified for my car after I've authenticated the driver in my car. And then as we're also bringing this experience, we also want to bring in AI and voice commands because we really want, until we have autonomous vehicles, your hand on the steering wheel and you can have this payment convenience, but you can do it through voice command, and you're prompted maybe when you're near your local fast food place that you want to go to, or you're prompted at the toll, or you're prompted when you need a parking spot to say, yes, I want that available spot 268 near my, for me to park at near the place that I'm going to. How do we also bring in payments for pay by mile, or when I have to repair something in my car, or my tires are going bald, or whatever the case may be, and I need to have them replaced. So bringing in the services, the safety security, the authentication, the driver ID, and the different use cases, all of those come together so that we can bring that in-car seamless payment experience that the consumer actually wants to adopt.
It sounds great. As someone with about a half a dozen different parking apps on my phone, it sounds like it'd be much nicer just to be able to tell my car to pay for my parking instead. So I look forward to that in the future, and I look forward to learning a little bit more about that in LA. I want to talk now about the Code AutoMobility LA Hackathon, which you were a judge last year and judging again this year. Can you tell me a little bit about what is the competition this year all about?
Well, we are teamed up with GM as co-sponsors for Code AutoMobility LA. And as I was telling you, our IoT connected platform vision is to deliver these secure and seamless payment experiences across all types of connected devices. In this case, the car. What we wanted to do when we were engaging with Code AutoMobility LA, we routinely engage with the developer community to explore our APIs. This developer event, in combination with an auto industry leader like GM, helps to further our vision to enable in-vehicle digital payment. And so this event is going to bring together Visa's payment technology and security DNA, GM's data analytics and automotive knowledge, with the creativity of the developer community so that we can explore these in-car payment solutions that bring in-vehicle convenience, minimize driver distraction, and basically offers time back to the consumer. And in terms of the fun part of it, the hackathon is open to developers from around the world who are interested in exploring this next generation of connected car solutions. And we have great prizes. They're going to have a first prize of a $40,000 Visa prepaid gift card, a second prize of $30,000, and a third prize of $15,000 in a Visa prepaid gift card. And we're also going to have our Visa virtual reality connected car pod. We developed this virtual reality pod that immerses you in this futuristic car environment that brings to life Visa's vision for in-car payments. And we've got a lot of good judges from senior execs from GM, from Visa, reporters from Fortune, assistant professor from Stanford, and the Los Angeles Department of Transportation. Because how do we bring all those things together with the technology and the developers and the brand and scale of a Visa and a GM to further what we can bring to the consumer in the car?
And what sort of things will the judges actually be looking for? Will it be a focus on things that are attainable, things that can actually be implemented, or is it more of a focus on, interesting ideas and concepts?
We want to look at how do we go to market with some of these solutions, so something that's attainable. 2, does it actually meet a need that the consumer is going to benefit from? And is it not just technology for technology's sake? And it's not some technology you just had off the shelf and you just want to use this. And so they're really going to be looking at, okay, if we want to give the consumer back time, if we want to have them idle less while they're parking, idle less while they're looking for gas and food purchases and things like that, so we can reduce emissions, what can you bring to this technology that actually gives the consumer back their time, minimizes their driver distraction, and it needs to meet the right consumer experience that they would want to adopt? Those are 2 critical factors. There's others.
Sounds pretty interesting, the idea that you could use code to potentially reduce emissions from a car. That's kind of fascinating, actually.
Yeah, reduce that idle time. The less you time driving around 30 minutes looking for a parking spot in the middle of San Francisco, you're reducing emissions. That
sounds pretty good to me. All right, BZ, thanks very much for all the details on the hackathon this year. I look forward to seeing you in LA.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
And there you go. Now you're all set for this year's fireworks at AutoMobility LA. But as ever, you can find us at AutoMobility LA on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and at automobilityla.com. You can find me at Tim_Stevens on Twitter and at Tim Stevens on Instagram. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the ride.